4th down and goal to go at the 1. He will sneak it, stretching the football out, and now the ball is loose. Did the Chiefs knock it out? They did!
The Chiefs are used to the primetime stage, and this time they just switch stages. They go from the Monday night stage to the Sunday night stage, but this time they're taking on what I think is the best team right now in the National Football League, the Detroit Lions. Mitch Holthus with you along with Matt McMullen. This Detroit team, I'm looking for weaknesses. I'm still looking.
Yeah, I think the Lions play maybe the best complementary football in the NFL right now. They're fundamentally sound, they're tough, they're physical. They really take on the persona of their head coach and Dan Campbell. And it's been cool to see. I mean, he's built this thing along with their front office and Brad Holmes, their general manager, from the ground up. And yeah, I'm with you. Right now, they're probably the best team in football.
The same transformation the Lions have gone through is what the Chiefs went through at the beginning stages of Andy Reid and has continued. So it's been impressive to see what's gone with a long-time franchise there. But they're setting records. The fact that they could be back-to-back scoring champions in the NFL, that's not happened since the 08-09 Saints. And if they continue at this pace at about 35 points a game, that would be the best back-to-back performance point total to point total since the 41-42 Bears. That gives you an idea of how explosive this Lions team is.
And that's including only scoring 13 points against Green Bay in week 1. Super inexplicable. Still trying to figure that one out. Let's look at that tape and figure out what the Packers did to slow down this offense, because since then, they've scored at least 34 points in all 4 of their games. They're averaging more than 40 points per game in that span. And these guys possess the ball a lot. They play ball control. They have the ball for over 32 minutes on average, near the very top of the NFL. They love to run the football, obviously. These guys have 152 rushing attempts this year, second most of any team in the NFL, and they're effective at it, rushing for 135 yards per game between David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs, and that then sets up their passing game with Jared Goff.
Yeah, those two guys together, Montgomery and Gibbs, the best 1-2 punch in the league right now, they've had 14 times where they've both had a touchdown in a game, and that hasn't happened since the Cowboys of the early 90s. You look at Jonathan Taylor and the awesome year he's having with the Colts. Well, if you combine these two guys, Montgomery and Gibbs, they have 635 yards. That'd be 130 yards more than Jonathan Taylor. Then you throw in the passing game, and Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's putting up big-time numbers. We know Jameson Williams has a chance to be a good player. Now Sam Laporta is being used. He was great against the Bengals.
And Jared Goff is the point guard of the whole thing, and he leads the NFL in completion percentage right now at 75%, but sometimes that stat can be misleading if it's all just short passes. Not the case with Goff. He's averaging over 8 yards per attempt this year, so completing 75% of your passes while averaging over 8 yards per attempt, that's an impressive combination. And you're right, he has weapons everywhere, players that can do different things in their offense. Amon-Ra St. Brown leads the NFL in receiving touchdowns right now with 6, but Sam Laporta can play that physical, tough tight end kind of game, while Jameson Williams can stretch the field both horizontally and vertically, much like Xavier Worthy can for the Chiefs.
And defensively, the Lions are really good. Aiden Hutchinson last year got injured in week 5, out for the year. This year he's been phenomenal. 4 straight games with a sack. His pressures, he just pressured Cincinnati completely out of the game. But then you got Kirby Joseph on the back end, who's had the most interceptions in his first 4 years as a safety since Ed Reed, the Pro Football Hall of Famer of the Ravens. So they've got it front, middle, and back. Great linebackers, pass rush up front, and a very aggressive defensive back group that will pick the pass.
Yeah, they're opportunistic. It's kind of funny. It's like a copy and paste almost from the Jags defense from last week when I was kind of diving into them. The Lions have forced 9 takeaways this year, third most of any team in the NFL. They have 41 points off those takeaways. That's third most of any team in the league. And they have 13 drives this season that have began in opponent territory. This Lions offense is way too good to give them more opportunities and to let them start on your side of the 50. So for the Chiefs in this game, it's all about winning the turnover margin. It was kind of the same key we had for last week. You got to make sure you don't turn the ball over against Jacksonville. Unfortunately, that 99-yard pick 6 ended up being the difference in the game. Same thing against Detroit. I dug into this. Since the beginning of the 2023 season, the Lions are 19-0 when they win the turnover margin. They have not lost when they've won the turnover margin over the last 2.5 seasons. Only Buffalo has more wins in that situation over the last 2.5 years. When they lose the turnover margin, and it doesn't happen often, but when they lose it, they are just 5-6 over the last 2.5 seasons. So top priority for the Chiefs in this game, don't turn it over and force a couple turnovers yourself defensively.
And if you think special teams is a weakness, nope. Khalif Raymond, punt return for a touchdown. Remember him he had a touchdown against the Chiefs when he was with the Titans. But their kicker's great, and their punter's an all-pro punter. and set an NFL record for net punting, so no weaknesses there either. But for the Chiefs, they're coming in now putting together two really good offensive performances for the most part, at least in volume, and you're seeing it start to grow there. And defensively, it was just a matter of having glitches in all three phases against the Jaguars, where you can't have glitches against the Lions, but this Chiefs team is trending forward.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. I mean, look at the Chiefs offense last week. Coach Reed said it, you can outstat a team to death, doesn't matter if you lose the game, but it still is a good sign for the Chiefs offense that they piled up nearly 500 yards last week against Jacksonville, the number 5 scoring defense in the NFL. And Patrick Mahomes was brilliant. Of course, once the pick 6 back, but other than that, he accounts for 387 yards of total offense against Jacksonville, a really good Jags defense. That was the 4th most total yards by a single player in a game this season. So the offense is trending upward. I loved how Mahomes spread the football all over the place. Tyquan Thornton, Hollywood Brown, Juju Smith-Schuster, Xavier Worthy, obviously, Travis Kelce. All those players had explosive plays against Jacksonville. Let's find a way to keep doing that. And defensively, you're right, they are so close. It was a matter of the penalties. 13 penalties for the Chiefs last week against the Jags. That was their most penalties in a single game since that crazy game against the Rams back in 2018. Been a long time since the Chiefs have had that many penalties. I don't suspect that'll happen again, hopefully not. You clean those up, you clean up those mistakes in some kind of critical situations, the Chiefs defense will be just fine.
And who was quarterbacking that Rams team back in the crazy game of 2018 in Monday Night Football, 54-51?
I think it was Jared Goff.
Jared Goff, he was a Ram then, now he's a Lion. So now it's going to be Goff against Mahomes again. This time though, on the Sunday Night Football stage at GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium.